All right, guys, I'm back down here for another shop update. It is now Saturday. The last time I was down here was on Wednesday, and that's when I said that there was going to be quite a few things completed throughout the rest of the week. And I come down here and just spoke to Richard. He's here working, getting some trim done, some finishing done, and I wanted to go ahead and shoot a video of the shop and see where we're at this week. As of right now, most everything should be buttoned up by the end of next week, whatever's left anyway. But they're hoping to get the CO, the certificate of occupancy, next week. And then at that point, the only thing that should be left for my unit right here is going to be the large roll-up door, which we addressed in the last video. That was delayed because the company that builds them shorted Joe one door. They have to build one. It's going to be the end of November before it's here. All right, so they have got the asphalt is done. It looks good. Joe rented one of those, you know, the rollers, and he came out here yesterday, and Richard said it was, I think it was 9 loads of this crushed asphalt here, the millings, asphalt millings, and Joe rolled it out, got it looking good. So we now have a decent driveway up into the door and into the shop. I believe I mentioned this is going to be the handicap spot right here. So this is a handicap spot. They put it here because it was the flattest part of the whole thing. There's more slope as it goes further down. So that's why they put it right here. And of course, I'm going to have a dedicated parking spot over here as well. They're going to have bumpers here. So there's going to be a bumper right there. This is going to be a spot. We'll have a spot here. You know what? That's right there if someone needs it there as well. Parking ain't going to be an issue. There's even extra parking over here. That'll all get cleaned up over here. So there goes Richard right there. And they're, you can see they're working on some landscaping. They've got the bushes out here. They just planted that tree today. He's got it watering right now. And so this will probably be finished up here pretty soon. I was a little surprised to hear about the code for trees and shrubs. So you have to have, well, this one, you had to have 2 trees. So we got that one right there. And on the other end of the new building, there's a new tree right there. And of course, you got all your shrubs. I had some people that made comments about concerns of this area breaking if we've got a heavy load or truck backing into there. Richard said that this pad right here is 8 inches thick. This one right here is like 5.5 inches thick right there. They use the high pressure fiber reinforced concrete. He doesn't think that that's going to be an issue right there, but that was designed to take loads going in there. And of course, they've got this compacted down pretty good too. I don't foresee an issue with this right here. But anyway, that's going to answer your questions. 5.5 inches thick, 8 inches thick right there. Joe went ahead and brought the rest of the Gorbel jib crane over here because he did this. He did this over behind the building there as well. So his lot over there is completely flat and smooth. He's got asphalt millings over there as well. So he moved everything off out of the way. So that's why he brought these over here. All right, so we've got the double doors. There they are. Got them hung. We went with these because they were available. I told you there's not a lot available right now. And there was a couple of options. We could go with this one right here, which is already kind of expensive. If you went with the industrial grade metal double doors, it was going to be something like $1,800 just for a pair of doors. And because this is an upgrade, I wanted a double door so that we would have a little more access in case I decided to want to put something into the office here to use. I would have more space. So I'm paying the difference on what the standard door costs for the upgrade of the doors right here. So since these were available, that's what Richard got, and they'll get the job done. They're just fine. You got these built-in shades, so you can open and close the blinds. See? I think he's still got to do a little bit more finishing and trim, get the threshold bolted down. We've got they've got the ACs installed right there. Had some people asking what the hole was for, and I had mentioned for the AC, so we got those in. They finished the floor. There's just a little bit of fine trim work still left to do. They still have to finish painting. He says they put 2 coats of paint in here, but once the power is on and they can turn the lights on, they come in, they put a 3rd coat to finish it out. They've got to paint all the trim there as well. Bathroom is near complete. Sorry about the light, I didn't bring my extra light with me, but you can see this is this bathroom was designed to code. It's supposed to be handicap accessible, so someone with a wheelchair or cart can come in here and be able to turn around. I imagine I'm going to be using this space too. We'll probably put like a shelf or something right here if we need to utilize some extra storage. This will probably be a desk area right here. We got a couple of receptacles there, so we'll probably just put a desk right here where we want to do some computer work. Maybe a cool sign on the wall, I don't know. This is supposed to be where the high-speed internet comes out right there. So we'll be able to hook in a router or whatever. So that's it for the office anyway. Looks pretty good. Nice big office. This is much bigger than what I needed, but this was how it was designed before I decided that I want to occupy one of these units right here. I noticed that they did get some more of the mudding completed around the beams there. I noticed some mudding over there, trying to get everything sealed up. I think that's about it. There really hasn't been anything else done besides that. I'm sure all this is finished up right here. Water fountain, they don't have that hooked in yet. A little hot water heater so you have hot water to wash your hands, and then our wash basin right there. I'm sure that something's going to be done with this right here. They're just, see, they haven't finished mudding that. All right, well, hopefully this is going to be completed next week. That's what Richard is waiting on. This has to be completed before they can get the CO for the building, and that's what they're hoping. The electrical contractor said that all this stuff was on the way. It should be coming, so they should have this finished up next week. And they're hoping that all this stuff can be finished so that they can get their certificate of occupancy for the building, and the other tenants can move in November the 1st. I believe that's what they're working on right there. I had some people make comments about what about 3-phase power? We'll talk about it again. We mentioned this in a previous video. The contractor encouraged me not to have them just run conduit and wires everywhere, because we don't know where machines are going to be. Because of this being open and you have these girders here, you can run your conduit wherever you need. We can run conduit down that wall wherever it needs to be. So we're just going to wait. We're going to wait until we get whatever machines we're going to have in the building here. And then once I get them in there, he assures me that he will have me on his schedule to be able to come and run a circuit to whatever machines I put in there. And that's the way that he recommended me go about doing this, instead of running circuits to places that I don't know where they need to be. I would love to have a bunch of 3-phase circuits all along here, but that particular contractor that we're using for the building was advising against that. I wasn't going to argue with him about that, so I said, all right, whenever we get the machines in here, I'll have you come and we'll hook them up. This is a 3-phase 400 amp service panel, so it should have more than enough power for anything that I put in here. I really don't know what's going to go in here yet. I've got my sights on some different types of machinery. I just don't know what I'm going to acquire yet. I definitely want to start searching for possibly like an air compressor, and get an air compressor here and run some air lines. It doesn't have to be a big air compressor, just something to supply a little bit of basic shop air, you know, for using an air hose, an air grinder. There may be a machine that needs a little bit of air for tool changers, you know, something like that. So that's one of the early machines that I'm going to be on the hunt for, is maybe trying to acquire a nice air compressor, preferably like a rotary screw type compressor. I really like those. I believe it's the Kaiser air tower units. Those are pretty sweet. But regardless, that's what I'm going to work on first is that. And one of the machines that I've got my mind on anyway is once I'm in here, I want to wait until I'm in here. I'm not looking for certain things until I'm in here. I do want to find a large lathe. I keep mentioning that. So I'd love to find either a Monarch or American Pacemaker that has a large swing, like 20 to 25 inch swing, and put that in here. It's not gonna be a super long lathe, but something with a large swing that'll allow me to do some larger swing jobs. I'm thinking offhand that we may end up doing, if I find one and I get one, we may just put it like right here. Sort of put it right in this area in front of this area right there, and just have it right here. That way we will have our Gorbel to be able to use for material handling and pick things up and put into the lathe. So that's my initial thinking. I don't know if that's what we're gonna do, but that's my thoughts, is maybe just put a big lathe right here. Maybe a milling machine in here somewhere. Maybe over here in this area. It'll still be, the crane should reach right over here. I mean, we have a 15-foot reach on it, so might be able to put a milling machine like right here, have a lathe there, a mill here, and you know, there should be plenty of space here and all out here to use for other machinery that we acquire, and having some workspace there as well. So as I said before, it's kind of like an open canvas, and that's what we're working with right here. When I first acquired it, when I first decided I was gonna get this and move in here, you know, my thoughts were running wild on what we could do. You know, get a bunch of used equipment put in here, bring some of mine down here. But I think I want to leave what I have at my current shop. I just want to leave that shop as it is. You know, I'll find some tooling and things like that that I can bring down here to tool up this shop. But as far as the machines go, I think everything I have down there, for the most part, will just stay there. And then we'll start outfitting this shop with some other machines that I can't fit down there, and have a little bit more capability here. As well as for the future, I keep mentioning I want to be able to build my own shop here in the future on our property. That's still going to be a while before that happens. And then whenever that does, whatever we have in this shop and my current shop will be moved to our final destination, big shop. Hopefully, that's the plans anyway. So I think that's going to conclude the update. I was trying to think of everything that was mentioned. The top area, I think we still want to utilize that for Abby if she wants to have a craft type area. We can easily put us up a railing around here for safety. We'll have to build us some steps. I'm thinking this corner right here is probably going to be the best place to put steps, whatever we need. I don't want to put them back there in the way, so we'll probably use this area right in here if we're gonna do some steps. And Abby might have her a place up there where she can do her arts and crafts and whatever she wants to do whenever she wants to get away from her computer and her office. I think that'll work out pretty good. All right, well, that's about it. We'll come back down here sometime next week and go ahead and see how everything's coming, see the finished outside, and you know, the trim work and everything should be finished up in here next week. All right.